Alright, back to the hideout we go with our new... Oh, sure, the vault.
Oh, the vault's just out there in broad daylight.
Yep.
Fortunately, it is right next to our vault. Right next to our hideouts. Let me just grab this and see what our last big treasure is.
The Guru Staff
The Guru
Piece?
Staff Piece.
What the hell is that doing in this time period?
All this way away. Anyway, sprint silently. Holy crap, that's powerful.
Whoa, that's really cool.
Yeah, I'm taking that then.
So,
I can
what
run
does
around without...
So what does the Guru Staff Piece do?
Let us see. Well, first, now that I know I'm taking him outside, now I will search it up automatically. As for what Salim does, he pretty much does the same thing. He actually does not slow down time as Sly does. He actually uses rope climbing with a much swifter mobility, as we'll see in this next area. But quickly, let me look up Guru Staff Piece. What this does, whenever the character, from this point forward, now that I've collected this ability, now that I've collected that item, my defense is immediately doubled.
Nice.
Just for now on, I will only take half damage, which is definitely going to be useful for some bosses. Just saying.
But yeah, no, Salim Al-Kupar, in the most general way possible, can be best described as one of those people who, holds true to the notion of mind your elders.
Yep, he is very, very unimpressed.
Again, he's been through this shit for years, so he knows what he's talking about.
Which is fair.
Also, I don't know whether it'll be easier or harder for me to crawl in a wheelchair and sensitive dick.
Actually, now that just feels sad now, imagining this view right here. You see Bentley dragging himself like, okay, almost there.
And then when he gets out, he's like, now what?
Oh,
Ow.
Ooh.
Okay, just throw this and press R2. Whoa! That's how he scales the ropes.
yeah, he's very speedy on them ropes.
I'm trying to.
And I forgot I've already mentioned up to the... Go ahead.
I was just trying to remember, what was Salim's, entry into the Thievius Raccoonus? What was the ability you got from him in the original games?
Salim Al-Kupar... Oh, actually, no, I don't think Salim Al-Kupar had a, entry you could get in the, first game.
Well, don't forget, he was also super freaking big.
That is also
Let me
true.
look him up. Let me see if I can look him up. Let's see. Well, I do remember he had his own section in the Cooper Vault that you had to go through.
Right, in Sly
That is
3.
true.
Let's see.
It seems that I will be doing all the work.
Yes. Okay, found it here. Salim's section of the Thievius Raccoonus likely detailed climbing on miscellaneous objects as his signature move is extension of this. His section was done by clockwork, although that was not revealed in the first game.
Okay, then,
I don't think he was brought up.
Yeah. You could definitely be forgiven for believing that Salim Al-Kupar was another original character made for this game, considering they barely did much of anything with him in the original trilogy.
Again, outside that one
Yeah.
part of the Cooper Vault.
That is true.
Snakes? Why did it have to be snakes?
Ow!
There you go.
It had to be done.
Had to get that out of there at least once. And yeah, as you're seeing, sometimes those little snakes, sometimes they're a little finicky to work around with. But,
Yeah, basically what you want to do is you don't want to, latch onto it so low to the point where once they start, you barely have a chance to, get away from them.
Right.
yeah. Also noting here, wow, when I was looking into this, apparently in Sly Cooper the Thievius Raccoonus, I don't know where it was stated, but according to this,
Oh, if only I had a magic lamp.
I know.
I would wish for this job to be over.
In Thievius Raccoonus, Sly and the gang were all, I guess, mentioned to be 18 years old.
Oh yeah, no, they were still pretty young.
Okay, so I guess they were not as old as I thought they were, thinking they're in their 40s.
Okay, so that was 18 as of the events of Sly 1, right?
Oh,
Yep.
no,
Correct.
I just
How old do you think they would be by the end of Sly 3?
I guess in their mid-20s. Because that would still be at least 3 to 5 years since the events of
All
Sly
I know
1.
for certain is that, if we were to count timelines, yeah, they were 18 in Thievius Raccoonus. Thieves in Time, or not Thieves in Time, Band of Thieves was, canonically, it takes place 2 years after the original game. And I think Sly 3
right.
took place not long after.
Right.
So they would have been like early 20s.
Oh my
then.
god. Maybe involving some. Oh my god. Maybe involving some time passing because there was still that comic that covered that he had to like do a couple of things just to learn more about what was his name, McSweet, whatever his name was.
Yeah.
McSweeney.
Well, that you could argue like happened like just a couple of days before the events of Sly 3.
Given that they were already
I guess that's right.
cheeky and actually having the second game's events take place literally on the exact same time frame it took for the sequel to even come out, I can imagine the same apply with Sly 3. Probably only took like a year at most.
Yeah, that is fair. Random thought. I still remember like one day, I think it was at Costco, but I still remember just how like excited and I was just to see because
Crap.
sorry, because back then like gotta crank this whole thing out because there wasn't a whole lot of like crazy marketing as there is nowadays, like on the web, on single apps, on just little tweets. Back then it was like if it wasn't on TV, you as a kid wouldn't have known about it, and just the fact of darn, for some reason I thought I had a paraglider in my pants. These are just parachute pants. But no, it was. I just remember as a kid being so excited when frickin' hell. I just remember being so excited when I first was in a store and just saw Sly 2. I was like, oh my god, they made a second one. And then they kept at it and just.
I would much rather be riding a camel with 3
And then in my case, I think I didn't know about Sly 3 being a thing until I learned about until I saw on it was I think a EB Games or GameStop kiosk where they had they had free sample a free pass along demo disc.
Whoa, sorry. Oh, that's actually pretty neat.
Well, actually, there was that, and I think there was also what was it? There was a PlayStation. I think there was a PlayStation Magazine demo disc which talked about it, while also bringing up demos of the first 2 games for those that have never, played the series up until that point.
Makes sense. Well, but that's at least nice of them to have done that, considering they're trying to sell the 3rd game in a franchise that, according to what you guys are telling me, compared to the likes of Ratchet and Jack and all that, and Spyro and Crash, still wasn't as huge of a seller as they would have hoped.
Yeah.
Which is still a bummer because I like the because I still like
there
what
you
they
go.
did with this. I don't know if I had mentioned this or not, but. Because it was just Nelson that was the thing about visually, is that I love how with the Cooper ancestors, they all are slightly different shades of, different colors, slightly different, shades of fur and stuff.
Yeah, I'd say that's pretty cool. Again, you got Ryuichi, who they treated more like a red raccoon sort of thing.
I thought
yes.
it was brownish.
It
red
was slightly
tinted at the
brown.
very. What is brown but just another shade of red?
He's as much a red raccoon as Conker was a red squirrel.
Okay,
Never
yeah,
let that one go.
It makes no sense in and they've had multiple times to update his model and do different things, and they have never once made him look red.
Have you ever seen a red squirrel in person?
And I was just gonna argue that they could have updated him at any time, and Conker would have been like, why mess with perfection?
Yeah, it's fair. And
Oh.
The strange sonic frequency modulations emitted by that device are causing it.
They're literally mind warping him through the power of music.
Oh, they mentioned Prague.
Hey.
yeah, they do mention the weird sonic wave hypnosis. Remember, we had to turn on Murray and make him a little teapot.
Jeez. I can never remember the name of the Gonzo's rat pal, but he's seen better days.
Oh, Rizzo?
Rizzo,
Rizzo
yeah.
the rat. I keep thinking of Remy, but
What is this jelly?
Wouldn't jelly have existed back then?
it's not bad. Strawberry jelly is among the greatest inventions of mankind.
And then they peaked beyond that with grape jelly.
No, they went back immediately on that and had to then perfect strawberry jelly one more time just to set the record straight.
Boys, am I going to have to tell you to go to your rooms?
Well, joke's on you, I'm already in my room.
He started it.
No internet for
fucking
a
started
If you keep that up, you're gonna have no internet for a week.
Oh damn! How will you complete the? How will you complete Metroid Prime then? I still gotta get back to that. Prime 2 should be fine. I'll admit right off the top of my head, like Prime 3 is gonna be the interesting one because I think because of how it's structured, I think Prime 3, like we discussed, I think I'm gonna actually try and do Prime 3 live.
Alrighty.
Alright, fair enough.
I just need to practice
Actually,
a bit
like-
more. Prime 2 I did not want to do live because Prime 2 has way more backtracking across multiple worlds.
Right. Actually, I was just thinking back to the thing that Logan said, where it's like, oh, it's like, you keep doing that, boys, no internet for a week, and Logan's like, alright, then I guess it'll be a week until you have those videos edited.
Where am I?
You have been
Hey, Blum.
imprisoned, hypnotized, and compelled to create forgeries by that evil elephant. But I have freed you from her mesmerizing music. With, some assistance.
You know.
That's nice. I'm hungry.
Just some.
Bring me anything to eat. Perhaps some nice roasted scorpion tails. Maybe some camel milk.
Amazing. I climb halfway to the stars to rescue you. And
Halfway
you
to the
expect camel
stars.
milk? Why do I bother?
It's all good then.
So Liam, I'd like to say real quick, that is what we in the modern times calling the pot black.
Why do
Yeah.
kittles and pots talk from where you're from?
Would you believe me if I said yes?
You have a strange world.
Yeah.
Security has definitely been beefed up. Those turrets
Let's see. Oh, great. Now we got more turrets. So it's actually random thought. It's actually we're actually gonna after some little tweaks we have to do in the mission. We're actually gonna have another callback actually to Rajan and whatever again.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah, we're gonna have to bring out the old Bentley copter again.
Yep.
He's actually going to get some use out of that thing again after taking a full break from it in the third game.
Oh, thank goodness. See? But it doesn't look like him and he doesn't wear his glasses, so it is notably inferior to the original model.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
it
one-
does look a little more generic.
Oh yeah, one thing I want to point out. If you didn't notice from the Benaki-com, Bentley scribbled out Penelope's picture and put devil's horns in there.
Yeah.
That's a cute little detail they remembered, but I would have just burnt the picture at this point, Bentley.
Oh, I would have too.
Well, I would, but do you know how
Yeah,
expensive film is nowadays?
Bentley, you're a 7, she's a 2.
You really think I'm a 7?
Absolutely.
I think I love you.
Hold on. It's a
Hold
category
on
you're
now.
7. That doesn't mean like
Oh,
you're.
slow down there, Bentley.
7 is the highest score any woman's ever given me.
That is a solid C+ at most.
I have never been so
Careful
turned on
now.
in my life.
What the hell is this coming
Where
from?
did this... Jeez.
This is out of control, Bentley.
This is literally a Bentley who just stands proud and goes all, "Hi, ladies, I'm open."
So when's the
is
free
good.
booking?
You okay, Logan?
Because just suddenly the way that James said that, the quick image that just assaulted my mind was Bentley reenacting the intro to Austin Powers 2.
That means I'm single again. Oh, behave.
again, and then just starts running around.
Wheeling
bucking
around without a shell on.
just completely
Oh my God.
ready. Oh my god.
Well, ladies, I'm
Okay,
ready.
fine. Fine. To distract ourselves from that, to distract ourselves from the monster that we just created there. another line I thought I'd been reminded of again because I was watching GDQ and they did a speed run of Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal. The monster that Insomniac created. It was mating season. How was I supposed to know she was your sister?
Christ.
Yeah, that...
Yeah, there are some things that Quark should be very grateful Ratchet and Clank never bring up to him ever again. It's like, and that was a bit like, how long have you guys been staying there? Too long.
Long enough.
Ratchet, when you ever fall in love, you'll understand.
Why? the
Yeah, I
monkey
kind of
screwed
get
up?
that already.
I had to involve them. more of these. This, oh, jeez.
Hey,
More of these, please.
come to think of it, you ever stop and wonder if Quark ever thinks to himself, maybe I should consider hiring a Quarkette?
A Quarkette.
I feel, knowing his eagle, I feel like that has happened at least once.
There technically was, not a Quarkette, but there technically was a primary female member of the Rangers in the movie.
Well, two of them technically, because one of them was like the tech person at the base.
You completely
Right,
missed
that
that
nobody
again.
respected. I know, I don't...
Oh, what'd you ask again?
That
Doc?
should get...
I wasn't asking. I pointed out that you missed the same target twice.
Oh.
Yeah, because like it was right there, but it's like it's very picky. So is that good? That's probably not gonna hit. No, it did. Thank goodness.
I think it's.
That has to hit.
I think it's because of the fucking palm trees and all that.
Oh, the mines.
Yeah.
Well, not just the
Oh
mines.
no, the tree. Oh, I see. Like maybe it hit. Okay.
It's kind of a blessing that at no point do Decibel or La Paradox
go.
notice all the carnage outside.
I'm sorry. Is that a massive armada of explosions going on outside? Oh, that's just the fireworks show.
That outfit makes you a better thief, Sly, not a genie. Now, why don't you help me with this?
Well, he had to try at
Thank
least
you.
once. I'll give him that one.
And another one.
It's another
He
result.
too looks tweaked. Haha!
So you got lucky.
Fair enough.
Phew! The stench in here is making my eyes water.
What's going on?
I feel sorry for your friend. That Decibel is really cruel.
Well, unfortunately, that might be the lion's socks. He
Oh.
always hated doing laundry.
How does he have?
Well, maybe she was just protecting her sense of smell.
Oh, that's why he would close it all up. Well, let's
That
just again
That explains a lot.
another round of hacking. Let's see. Is it gonna be platforming? Is it gonna be Contra Bentley?
They never actually do platforming in this. I'm kind of bummed. Or, excuse me, as far as the Bentley hackings are concerned, they never do platforming.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you know, I sorry. When I said platform, I guess I meant the tank thing, the twin stick.
Yeah,
shooter.
the top-down twin stick stuff.
Although now that you mentioned like platforming, like for some reason what I have in mind for the idea of like a platformer hacking game, basically just straight up 8-bit Mega Man but with an 8-bit Bentley.
Yeah, I would play that.
You say
Yeah.
that. I was honestly just thinking like have Bentley do his own like what's the word crummy knockoff like what Colungo did in Nuts and Bolts.
Klingle saves the world.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like Bentley would be more adept at programming a video game than Klungo would.
Fair.
No doubt.
But you know, I could see that. And like throughout the entire game, like you're gaining copy abilities, you know, ergo from security measures, and then by the very end, you could even like arguably sneak in a freaking Mega Man boss gauntlet by having the final boss use all the security techniques from before, so you have to fight those bosses each one more time back to back or something. I don't know.
For what's supposed to be breather levels, I feel like that's a little too much effort.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. I forget. It has been a while. Was the original time you played as Bentley hacking in Sly 1, was that hard? Was it just...
Well, for one, it was only the
frustrating
one
to figure
time.
out, or-
It was the one time, and honestly, I don't remember that one being too tricky. Like at the like the real big thing about that one is that you only have like what, maybe 5 points of health before your tank croaks.
That's true. I remember that after that, really the only real big... I remember after that, the only two big frustrating parts were then the Carmelita defending Sly Cooper thing, because it's a long gauntlet of all these things trying to fight him, especially the slug monsters. And then, and of course, trying to climb Clockwork's Grand Tower thingy, because if you messed up too many times, there would have been no way to be able to climb it up in time before the whole thing sank.
I'd honestly say the bit with Carmelita defending Sly was the worst of it. Just because,
Yeah.
unlike Murray, who at least had tells whenever he was about to get himself clonked, Sly has no such thing.
Because Sly is not a
Especially
coward.
with the frickin' but against flying robotic suicide drones doing dive bomb techniques from the heavens.
Yeah, it's like the dude doesn't get spooked that easily.
Which is commendable,
know,
but
I-
frustrating.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It is still weird whenever I think back to Murray's humble beginnings, where he was probably the biggest chicken shit of the whole entire gang, and now in the sequels he's literally the exact opposite.
And honestly, I still love that. Like, be it a little bit of an ego trip, sure, but I still love that like complete like 180 he took between 1 and 2, like trying to take that confidence with him.
Agreed. And they stuck with it for the remainder of the series.
Which is better than, because I almost completely forgot, but yeah, like, remember back in Slide 1 where his whole big like iconic thing was doing a freaking like Home Alone scream to the camera when something bad or evil had happened?
Yeah.
I still love that.
Well, that was only like at the very end, and also he was
also
the one
did
that
it
did
one
the
more
driving
time.
missions.
That was no nightmare, my
Yeah, that's
friend.
true.
Salim, you were in my dream too. You brought me many delicious snacks.
What is with you guys and all the food?
Salim, who is this insolent pup? Oh, don't worry about him. He is a friend who helped rescue you.
Yeah.
I was about to say, that voice actor sounded incredibly fucking familiar.
What are you talking about?
I know at least one of them is Bloom.
Hey, look. It's better if
I say that because that voice and tone reminds me of,
It's gonna be a long
I'm trying to remember his name. He was from the DuckTales Magic Lamp movie. Dijon or something like that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God, I forgot about him.
Yeah, that voice really reminded me of him.
That dude was such a freaking. Ugh.
Agreed. Well, speaking of Murray, we got, I'm gonna be honest right now and say, one of the longest missions up ahead.
Oh.
Oh.
Stay tuned for us saving the last of Sly's, the last of Salim's thief friends, where unfortunately things take a turn for the worse.
Anybody got any popcorn?
Though the Murray walks through the valley of tedium and frustration.
Until the next part.